Hello and welcome to all of the listeners out there, whether you are married or whether you are listening because you are planning to be married one day and you are just listening in to get ahead of the game. Thank you for joining me. This is your Hot and Holy Love Coach, and this is another episode of Keeping Your Marriage Hot and Holy. So listen, I am in celebration season. June, July, and August, and my family is filled with celebrations. Every 3 weeks, there is something to celebrate from June 1st all the way through August. My husband's birthday, my birthday, Father's Day, wedding anniversary, our youngest child's birthday. We always have something to celebrate in these 3 months. And so that got me to thinking about gift giving when it comes to marriage. And that's what I want to talk about today. Listen, guys, the connection that you have with your spouse can either make your marriage or it can break your marriage. And connection in marriage is extremely vital. And most people don't understand that connection in your marriage is actually a form of investing in your marriage. The truth is there are tons of ways to connect with your spouse, and there are numerous ways to invest in your marriage. But today I want to discuss connection and investment in your marriage through gift giving. Yep, talking about giving gifts to one another. Investing in your marriage through gifts can actually restore the connection between the two of you. So if we take time to invest in the marriage, we will see life-changing rewards and ultimately have a healthy marriage. Now, there are tons of ways to invest in the marriage. But again, in this episode, I want you to know that I'm specifically talking about the art of giving and receiving gifts. So let's be honest, okay? Listen, a bad gift from your spouse, it can ruin your day. I tell you, it can cause you to feel sad, unloved, unappreciated, and unvalued. Let's go a step further. Not receiving a gift for your birthday, your anniversary, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, it can take you emotionally to a place where you feel completely disconnected from your spouse. Have you ever felt that? Giving your spouse a gift really does speak to his or her emotions. And then also the type of gift you give will speak to his or her emotions. Our emotions about our spouse are what keeps us connected or disconnected. This is how we take it. If I feel like you love me, then I'm excited to be around you and want to be under you and with you all the time. But if I feel like you don't love me, then I feel disconnected. And then listen, guys, we feel connected and disconnected based on how we are treated. And a huge part of that is what we get by way of gifts. Even if your love language is not gifts, everyone wants to be celebrated and acknowledged through some sort of gift. Being connected to your spouse plays a huge role in how we relate to one another sexually. If you don't feel connected, it's more difficult to reach that sexual ecstasy you desire. To be frank, once the body has gotten started, it is designed to respond. So it's going to respond whether it wants to or not. This is why people still lubricate or get erect if they are being sexually mishandled. It's because the body responds because that's the way it was designed. However, what's affected the most is the enjoyment. So let's get back to marriage. If you are emotionally connected, then you're definitely going to enjoy it, and the climax is going to be more profound. But if you are not connected, it might feel good, but the truth is the climax is going to be empty and it's going to be futile, and you're going to be like, can we just get this over with? That's just being honest, okay? The ultimate goal at all times in our marriage is to remain emotionally connected so that we can enjoy the physical connection that we have. Because when the emotional connection is interrupted, we attempt to find or add things to help us reach a feeling of wanting to be together sexually. Here's what I mean. You've made me mad. I really don't feel like it, but I know I got to do it. Let me get some wine or some alcohol or smoke a little herb, or let me watch some porn so that I can get a mindset. Well, if you connect with your spouse emotionally on a regular basis, then you won't need to get a mindset because your emotions will already be tapped into, and even just the thought of them will make your organs start to function and desire your spouse. This is why it's important that we discuss gift giving, because gifts speak volumes. Bad gifts say, I don't love you. I don't care. But thought out gifts that are planned, they actually say, I love you. I value you. I value what you want and what you need. Those things are important to me. When you give your spouse a gift, you're investing in your connection. That's what I want you to see. But listen, here's what does not work. Trying to give a gift as an apology every time you mess up. The best apology or gift you can give your spouse after you have messed up or made a huge mistake is to change your behavior. There is no bought gift that you can give that will make up for an ugly behavior or a nasty attitude. So attempting to buy gifts to quote unquote make up, that really is empty, futile, and is very immature. Again, I repeat, there is no bought gift that can make up for ugly behavior or nasty attitude. Okay, let's keep going. So I'm still speaking about connecting and investing. So let's talk about this through holiday gifts, birthday gifts, anniversary gifts, or just because gifts. These celebrations are vital. They are a part of life. And the truth is, if you hate when these celebrations are coming up, it's probably because you are not prepared for them. Truth be told. So here's what I want to do. I want to help you get prepared. I want to give you 3 things that you can do to be prepared to make gift giving better, and so that you can invest and connect to your spouse and your marriage. The first thing that I want you to do when it comes to planning and being prepared for gift giving is add a line item to your budget for family and marriage gifts. Then in that line item, add a second line item for budget for extended family gifts. That second one for extended family gifts is the line to take care of parents, siblings, relatives, and friends that you want to celebrate throughout the year without taking from the money from your spouse and your children. So yes, you need to budget and put money aside specifically for gifts for holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, just because, getaways, conferences, retreats. You've got to put money aside and budget for it. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is actually take some time to sit down and make you a list. Here's what I suggest. Sit down somewhere after Christmas, but before the new year. And then write out this list of things that you want, need, or that you just gotta have. Make sure you include all your apparel, your accessories, your furniture, your jewelry, your vacations, conferences, retreats that you want to attend, massages, whatever it is that your heart desires. Put that on your list. Okay, you make sure that you make a list if you're a list person. Now then you take your list and you give it to your spouse so that they can have for the entire year, so that he or she is not guessing what to get you every time a holiday or a celebration seems to come around. And listen, y'all, they come quick. Okay, here's what we got to remember. We're not children anymore. There's a lot happening in life, and the last thing we want to do is stress out our spouse about shopping or celebrating us. Okay, so give them a list, and you can add to the list as the year goes on. Just ask to see the list, add to it, then give it back. My husband keeps the list that I give him in his wallet. So either I ask for it or I go into his wallet and grab it. And if that's not the type of relationship y'all have, then don't do that. That's what works for us. But I add to the list and then I give it back to him. Now, listen, if you or your spouse are not the write it out type people, then you still have to be intentional about keeping a list your own self. OK, what I have done, because my husband is not a write it out list type person, I have created a Google Doc or note in my cell phone that I can pull up at any time he mentions or says something that he sees on a television ad when we're out and about, or something he thinks about if he's on Amazon or anything. I make a list and I keep it my own self. So the point is, be intentional about hearing what your spouse wants, or be intentional about putting it out there what you want, so that we take the guess out of it and we take the frustration out of it. Okay. I honestly think that it's best to do it after Christmas, because before the new year, because right after Christmas, you have seen what you've already had, and you see what you didn't get, and you see what you want for the next year, and your mind is already thinking about those things, honestly. So go ahead and write it down. Okay, and I say before the new year because shortly after the new year, we're running up on Valentine's Day. So go ahead and get those things already put out there. Okay, still include the flowers, candy, balloons, and stuff if you like, but just make sure that you do those as supplemental gifts and those are not the main gifts. Okay, here's the third thing, my favorite. Determine what to give, when to give it. There's an appropriate time to give certain things. Here's what I mean. Birthday gifts should probably be more personal and all about your spouse. Whatever your spouse has said they want, then make sure you get your spouse what they want because it's their birthday. Christmas gifts, on the other hand, they can actually be multi-purpose. At Christmas time, you can get personal items. You can get items that can be used at the home if that's on the list. Items that they can use, that you two can use together if that's on the list. Here's what we tend to do. We have multiple trees up in our home for Christmas because they call me Mrs. Christmas. I absolutely love Christmas. At any rate, in the living room, that tree is for individual gifts and family gifts. Okay. In our son's room, those gifts come from our extended family. So if family from out of state send in gifts, they go under his tree. In our personal bedroom are our playtime and bedroom gifts that we open up separately. Okay. Valentine's Day. Get individual gifts along with something that says, I love you. This is a great time to get jewelry, vacations, retreats, those different things. Now, when it comes to Mother's Day and Father's Day, that's kind of tricky. You got to know your spouse. Make sure in all of these, you pretty much know your spouse. Stick to the list, but give them something that's more specific for them. Specific and something they're specifically asking for. Okay. It can even include this time stuff for the man cave, the she space, the prayer room, all those different things. Here is where we want to listen because this affects who we are. Anniversaries. Use the time for anniversaries to really hone in on something for the marriage. Anniversaries are not the time to be getting individual gifts as a main gift. Use the anniversaries to get something together. You can get something that says I love you and I wanted to give this to you. But make sure you use the together gift simply because it's y'all's anniversary together. It's not his anniversary or it's not your anniversary. It's y'all's anniversary together. So the gift, this particular anniversary gift should be planned and thought out and probably prepared for together. So here's what you do. You sit down together and you look at where your marriage is currently at. Take inventory. Yep. We need some time alone. We need a vacation. We need this. We need that. We need some new stuff in for sex time. We need this. Sit down and see where you are. Could your marriage best benefit from a vacation, a getaway, a marriage retreat, some counseling? Or could your marriage benefit from some new bedroom accessories like a sex position cushion or some soft bondage and blindfolds, some new sexy lingerie? Hold on, guys. Let me take a pause for a moment and mention this. You absolutely can get some bedroom accessories. For far too long, we have been told not to get certain things because they bring on demons. But let me tell you this. A new sex position cushion is only going to let y'all experience new uninhibited pleasure. And if y'all agree on it, then the devil must flee. Bringing in certain things like porn, now that will defile your bed. But listen, baby, let me tell you, if you get some new bedroom accessories, you will definitely awaken some love. Amen. Okay, so don't let what people have told you that you can't do that's not actually in the Bible. Don't let those things stop you from investing in your marriage and building your marriage and enjoying. That's the key thing. Enjoying your marriage. Okay. Now that that's out, now back to what I was saying. Anniversaries. This is the perfect time to invest in together. Again, something for the bedroom, lingerie, conferences, retreats, and getaways. Okay. Make sure you still include some dinner, some flowers, some candy. But remember that those are only supplements. Okay, guys, those are not the main gift. Before I go on, I do want to encourage you to make sure that you attend some sort of marriage retreat or conference at least once a year. Okay, it will do miracles for your marriage. Plus, it's actually time away from your kids and some alone time just for the two of you. So make sure that you do include that. I think anniversaries are a perfect time to do it. Okay, but it doesn't have to be anniversaries. Just make sure you do it once a year. Okay, now let's not forget about just because gifts. Okay. We seem to bypass those. We let our attitudes stop us from showing love. We let what's happened. We don't forgive. We let all this stuff stop us from just picking up something along the way. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's wrong. When you are out and about, make it an intentional gesture to grab something for your spouse as a just because I was thinking of you. I saw this and it reminded me of you. That will put something on their mind. Oh, they was thinking about me. That can restore a connection. That can soften something that has transpired that really should not have transpired. So put some thought and intention into your gift giving, and it will fuel your spouse's soul and reconnect you. If you do it right and if you do it often, it can't just be time and time in between. Make sure you're intentional about doing these things on a consistent basis. If you're concerned about money being an issue, then make sure you budget for it and even sacrifice sometimes. It's actually worth it. And if you still say money is an issue, then communicate about that. Talk about that. Say, hey, I desire to do these things, but right now financially we're at this place. We just can't afford this. We can't afford. Sit down and talk. But don't allow that to stop you from being intentional about giving your spouse something. Celebrations should be fun and rewarding and not done grudgingly. Okay, guys? Even Jesus said if it's grudgingly, then even he doesn't even want what you're trying to give. So if Jesus does not want our unplanned, our unthought out gifts, then why do we think our spouses do? Okay, nobody want a gift because I don't want to hear their mouth, or I don't want them to have an attitude. That's not how we give gifts. Okay, you and your spouse deserve to be showered with love and gifts. So remember, they connect us in ways that we truly don't even understand. So guard your marriage, guard your connection in your marriage, and give a gift that keeps on giving. Understand there is divine reciprocity in giving, and that holds true even in marriage. The law of sowing and reaping still matters in marriage, not just in what you give at church or to nonprofit organizations. That law is a law, and it matters even in marriage. You get out of it what you put into it. It's a divine law. We cannot escape it. So be intentional about giving gifts. It's going to bless you. Okay. This is one way that we can add to making sure that we have a hot and holy marriage. Listen, guys, I want to pray for you. Okay. Father, I lift up every couple that's going to listen to this, or every couple that's represented that will listen to this, God. And I ask you, oh God, that you will wrap your third strand cord around these marriages, oh God, and that you would bind them together, oh God. Father, I ask that you would give them provision that they can even give gifts in the name of Jesus, God. I come against any lack that would prohibit gift giving and celebration in marriages, oh God. I come against wrong attitudes, oh God. I thank you that they will even take time to plan and incorporate a thought out strategy for giving gifts to one another. So we just rebuke the very enemy that will cause division and strife in marriages and interrupt connections because they can't and don't give. And we declare and we decree today, God, by the blood and the authority of Jesus, that nothing will stop us from showing our spouses love through the art of gift giving. So God, I plead the blood of Jesus over these couples and over their finances and over their connections. In the name of Jesus, I give you glory, honor, and praise. All right, guys, thank you so very much for joining me. I pray that these podcast messages are beneficial and blessing to you. I want to invite you to share them with your friends, and because ultimately we want the message of love and healthy marriages to reach the masses. If this has been a blessing to you, please connect with me through my website or on social media. You can reach me on my website at www.teamtaylorministries.com, and you can locate me directly through the Chara A. Taylor tab or the Awaken Love Marriage Ministry tab. God bless you, and remember to keep your marriage hot and holy. I'll talk to you guys next time.